Brodes Media.
Saquon Barkley extended for 2 years. What's the number? 41.2 mil? Listen, I have a rule. You don't have to follow my rule, but it's a lot easier in life if you do. You do not try and figure out what Spot Track has on their website. You don't go to overthecap.com and try and do all the math. Yo, you're the same guy that struggled with the fucking triangle and geometry and any of those other math classes you had to take in college and high school. Yeah, you're going to figure out what Howie Roseman's doing with the money in the NFL? Please. Algebra. That's the word I couldn't think about. You're trying to punch numbers the way Howie Roseman does to be the best general manager in all of sports. You'll never figure it out. Just know this. It all benefits the birds. It's that simple. Not every fan base has the luxury of being able to kick back, chill, relax, and just trust the man in charge. Howie gets out in front of contracts. He signs people way early because the last thing you want to do is wait. You want to be the Bengals? You want to be the Cowboys and pay Dak Prescott $60 million. He's not worth half of that. Yet Jalen Hurts had a $13 million cap hit last season. When that contract was signed, do you know how many people mocked the Eagles? They gave how much to who? They paid Jalen what? You're an idiot. You're just a flat-out idiot. Howie Roseman doesn't wait for the market to be set and then follow suit. That's how you get your ass in trouble. You do things way earlier. You do things way prior. And then, by the way, when the cap goes up, you also get the benefit when you restructure. You also get the benefit. It's not bizarre that Jeff McClain of the Inquirer, 8 minutes after the news broke by Adam Schefter that this was going down, don't be surprised if Lane Johnson restructures his deal. This is how... When other fan bases look at the Eagles in the Super Bowl and they wonder, how in the world do they have AJ and Devontae signed, go after Saquon Barkley, Jalen's paid, you got someone like CJ DJ in free agency. How do you get the left side of your line paid the way they're paid? Lane Johnson, the best right tackle in all of football. How do you do it? This is how you do it. So when we debate what's next, Zach Bond, Myles Garrett, can you find a way to squeeze back a Darius Slay? How do you do it? This is how you do it. You make decisions like this. It's this simple. It keeps cap space fluid and controllable. It rewards players up front with cash. And it's noticed by agents and players. Myles Garrett! You paying attention? Those are 3 factors of making these type of decisions. And that's part of the magic that we always reference when it comes to the big man upstairs. Not Jesus. Howie. You know what's funny? You all know that I'm a sports talk junkie, right? I listen to it 24/7, essentially. All different towns, not just here in Philly. I'm saying I like to listen to outside cities all the time. The other day, I was just randomly listening to New York Sports Talk, and they were pissed off that Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson are looking for bigger looking for extensions with their contracts, even though they have a few years left. And I'm laughing as I'm driving. This is prior to even knowing that Saquon was going to get hit with his extension. I'm laughing, thinking in the back of my mind, well, that's the difference. You all want Howie, right? You thought Joe Douglas was going to be the next coming to Howie, right? Because of the relationship and you kick his ass to the curb. But the truth is, that's what you do. Now, maybe you don't like Sauce Gardner. Maybe you don't like Garrett Wilson. That's a different discussion, which I think Garrett Wilson can play. I know people are a little disappointed in how the Sauce Gardner experience has went, but, you know, they're like, oh, he's got 2 years left. Shut up and go play, and blah, blah, blah. Then, WFAN's afternoon show, which has Tiki Barber on it and all, you know, they were all confused. What is going? Howie's doing? Eagles are what? I don't get it. Why would you give Saquon that money? I sit back and I laugh. I sit back and I find humor in it. This is why one team is constantly in the fight for the NFC. This is why one team has been to how many Super Bowls since 2017? 3, with 2 titles. And we're not going anywhere. And the Giants are in the basement looking to bring in Aaron Rodgers. They are embarrassing. And the Jets, embarrassing. Although I am rooting for their new coach because I do like him. And I want to see him succeed. Aaron Glenn. So we'll see how that all works out and all, but you see the difference here? I love this. And this is more than just rewarding somebody who ended up bringing you a championship. This is locking up a staple. Remember when I was talking about Zach Bond? Not that the Eagles won't look to recover and get Zach Bond here, because I think they will. I think that is a serious goal of theirs. And the purpose of this offseason is to see if you can get him back. That is at the top of the list of Howie Roseman's offseason. So I don't want to make it seem like Zach Bond is an automatic goner and you shouldn't consider him. But, you know, for him to even test the market, my stance was, normally, Howie, if you are a guy, if you are a real important piece to the fabric of who you are and your DNA and personality as a player and a football guy and as a person and all of that, you don't even test the waters. Not that they don't like Bond. They like Bond. But staples, Lane Johnson, Mailata, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. You extend them plenty in advance, so it's not even a discussion. So there's no drama. There wasn't one source leaking, hey, it seems like Saquon Barkley wants more dough. This didn't even get to the public. It didn't get into the media's eyes. They just worked on it behind the scenes. Bada bing, bada boom. We do not play those games. And that's how you're supposed to handle staples. That's why Lane Johnson is willing to sit down with Howie every single time it comes to renegotiating, because he's going to get taken care of. When you take care of your guys, there is something to be said about it being on everybody's radar. And it is a helpful tool and a selling point when you are looking in to bring free agents. See how it goes here? You become one of us. It's simple. You win, you get paid, you work with us a little bit with some flexibility so we can continue to sign free agents, so we can give other guys their money too, but it's all for the long goal here. You know, WWE just had an awesome elimination chamber on Saturday, and I don't know how many fans are die-hard WWE fans, but you don't really need to be to see what happened with John Cena. It was all over social media. And the way it works is there's long-term booking. That moment of John Cena turning heel on Cody Rhodes with The Rock in the ring, that didn't just happen. That seed was planted 5, 6, 7, 8 months ago. Even if it was another premium live event where The Rock comes out and does something for 3 seconds and then walks off into the backstage again. And he made one hand gesture. It's all about long-term booking. And eventually, the story will come together where when John Cena turns, you go, holy shit! Well, you know what this is? This is long-term booking. Howie Roseman is putting this together. And then when you see the roster at the end of the year, when you watch the drafting go down, when you see what he does in free agency, who he brings back, who he allows to walk, who he trades for, and then signs, nod, nod, wink, wink, yo, Myles Garrett, can't wait to see you in an Eagles uniform. You see the story get completed. But this is all part of the process, and this is the long-term booking.